Once a Soho House basic, always a Soho House basic bitch.
Jeffrey Epstein was also Harvey Weinstein, very prominent. There were members. Meghan Markle was just one of the working girls for Soho House. Call girl, working girl, escort, whatever you want to call it. That's what she was.
Before Meghan Markle became the Duchess of
Sussex, she mastered one thing better than any royal etiquette lesson: networking her way into power.
Meghan has always had this very, very strange fascination with Soho House, very much this weird obsession with it.
Forget the tiaras and palace rules. Meghan's real crowning achievement was her ability to spot influence fast.
Back in her early days, she was totally reliant on Soho House to pay for her travel, to pay for her accommodation.
The room. And standing right beside
Man, Markus Anderson, the guy the tabloids now call her social architect.
This guy has been around all of the time. Isn't that suspicious to you? Because it is for me. It is something strange.
Let's be real. Meghan didn't exactly stumble into royalty. She climbed that ladder in designer heels, latte in hand, and
Without Markus Anderson, I hope to prove to you in this video that Meghan Markle wouldn't have the level of global fame that she enjoys now.
When most actresses were struggling for a line on a pilot episode, Meghan was sipping cocktails at Soho House, the exclusive club. Markus helped run rubbing elbows with the elite like it was her day job. Some call it ambition. Others call it precision-guided social climbing. But whatever you call it, Markus Anderson was there every step of the way. Her confidant, her fixer, her gateway to the world she always dreamed of. And now, after years of whispers, leaks, and rumors, Markus has allegedly revealed something that could flip the Meghan Markle narrative upside down. Because behind the polished smile and modern princess image lies a story of ambition, manipulation.
He is like a parasite, always lurking in their shadow. No normal family has a constant third wheel, male or female, leeching onto their every move. Markus is practically glued to them.
Before Markus Anderson ever crossed paths with Meghan Markle, he was already the guy everyone wanted to know, the man who could turn a nobody into a somebody with just one well-timed introduction. Born and raised in Ontario, Markus had none of the family wealth or royal bloodlines that usually open elite doors. What he had instead was charm, access, and an uncanny ability to make powerful people feel like they needed him. By the time he joined Soho House, that members-only sanctuary for the rich and restless, Markus had mastered the game. He wasn't just managing parties, he was curating influence. Politicians.
Markus started off at Soho House London as a waiter, and he was a global membership director when he first met Meghan.
That's where Meghan appeared, a rising actress, filming Suits, and already craving more than Hollywood could offer. To Markus, she wasn't just another actress trying to score a table. She was ambitious, polished, and clearly ready to climb. He saw potential not just for friendship, but for strategy. And when Markus invited Meghan into the Soho House circle, everything changed. Suddenly, she wasn't just a supporting actress on cable TV, she was a name whispered in rooms that mattered. Markus didn't just open doors, he rewrote her guest list. He was the key holder to elite society, and Meghan knew it. It wasn't about romance or gossip, it was about leverage.
And access would one day make him one of the most talked about names in royal controversy.
You know, this is what Meghan has been doing. She's a piece of Klingon, you know, like she clings to somebody who can get her there. So Meghan manages to befriend one person of a very popular group, and then that person introduces her to the others. And because that she's being brought in by somebody they trust, she's welcomed in.
When Meghan Markle and Markus Anderson's paths finally intertwined,
their connection was instant, not romantic, but electric in ambition. Markus wasn't the type to waste time on small talk, and Meghan wasn't the type to settle for small dreams. Together, they became a social power duo, one that thrived on strategy, charm, and perfect timing. Markus saw in Meghan what few others did, someone who could blend Hollywood glamour. With royal-grade social finesse, she was articulate, camera-ready, and always calculating her next move with a smile. And Markus had the keys to every backroom dinner, private villa, and whispered gathering of the global elite. When the two started appearing at Soho House events, people noticed. Meghan had transitioned from that actress from Suits to the one.
Now, his job was to go to a new city wherever they were opening up a new Soho house, and his job was to find the best and the brightest of that city to invite to the founding members party. And they didn't just invite anybody. To be a founding member, you really had to be somebody in the social scene of the city where they were opening up.
He introduced her to designers, philanthropists, and influencers who could polish her public image. He arranged quiet getaways that doubled as networking opportunities, including one fateful weekend at Soho Farmhouse, the exclusive countryside retreat where Meghan reportedly met Prince Harry for the very first time. It wasn't luck, it was logistics. Guided by Markus's invisible hand, to him, it was friendship. To Meghan, it was acceleration. Every introduction brought her closer to the life she envisioned, and Markus seemed to enjoy every step of her evolution. But as her spotlight grew, so did the whispers. People began to wonder, was Markus simply helping a friend rise?
And that ridiculous story about how they first met, the whole thing was a tissue of inaccuracies, to be polite.
When Meghan Markle crossed into royal territory, most of her old friends quietly faded into the background. But not Markus Anderson. While others kept their distance from the growing royal spectacle, Markus stayed close to close for some inside Buckingham Palace. He wasn't a noble, a politician, or even part of the royal staff. Yet somehow, he was always there. Whether it was private celebrations, luxury getaways, or pre-wedding gatherings, Markus's name kept surfacing like an echo that refused to fade. To palace insiders, he was an anomaly outsider who somehow managed to slip through the...
Meghan Markle only becomes prominent for Soho House, guys, after she starts being on Suits and she's introduced to Markus Anderson. And then she gets more consistent and more prominent work, okay? Because then she could be in the presence of Markus Anderson.
Royal aides began whispering about the man who had her ear long before Prince Harry did. He wasn't bound by royal protocol, yet his influence seemed to reach places no courtier could touch, and Meghan. She didn't hide it. Markus was her constant, her emotional anchor amid the chaos of royal duties and relentless tabloid warfare. While the palace obsessed over decorum, Markus provided something Meghan craved more, familiarity and loyalty from her old life. But that closeness sparked unease. The royals valued distance, discretion, and hierarchy.
Her guest list to her wedding showed her real ambition was to be a star in California.
It wasn't long before whispers turned into speculation. Was Markus just a supportive friend, or a gatekeeper still shaping Meghan's narrative from behind the curtain? His presence blurred boundaries, raising the question no one at court wanted to ask aloud. How much power did this civilian really have over the Duchess? Because, in a world built on secrecy and control, outsiders rarely stay inside for long. It started quietly, a whisper in the press, an unnamed close source leaking a fragment of conversation allegedly tied to Markus Anderson. But in the royal world, even a whisper can detonate like a bomb. Within hours, headlines exploded across continents, painting Markus as the man who knew too much about the Duchess of Sussex.
He is the perfect person to be a highly paid consultant now for Soho House because he never puts a foot wrong. He never says anything about anyone.
Inside the palace, the reaction was instant panic. The royal PR machine went into what insiders called containment mode. Staff scrambled to trace where the information came from, desperate to stop any further leaks. Meghan, already under fire from the British tabloids, faced a fresh storm. And this time, it wasn't a faceless critic or anonymous insider. It was someone she'd publicly called her best friend. The irony was brutal. The man who helped build her public image had known intentionally or not fed the same media machine that tried to tear it down. Markus stayed silent, offering no denial, no clarification, no defense. His silence became its own story, fueling endless theories about what he really knew.
Markus fulfilling another role with Meghan Markle, and about there being lovely sailing days on the beautiful blue ocean.
For Meghan, it wasn't just about reputation, it was about betrayal, real or imagined. Because when your closest friend becomes the center of a royal scandal, there's no easy escape. And for Markus Anderson, the man once celebrated for his discretion, one leak was all it took to turn him from trusted confidant into a potential liability. Once the leak hit the headlines, the royal circus went into overdrive. Tabloids smelled blood, and Markus Anderson's name became the hottest topic in both London and Los Angeles. Photos of him and Meghan from years earlier suddenly resurfaced, smiling at parties, traveling together, whispering during events. Each image was reinterpreted, twisted, and exaggerated.
Meghan Markle has never been a member. I don't know if she's become a member now, but she had been working for Soho House since at least 2005.
Behind palace walls, things were far less composed than the press releases suggested. Senior aides launched an unofficial operation to contain the narrative. Calls were made, stories pulled, journalists warned. Meghan's team, meanwhile, tried to humanize her releasing carefully worded statements about loyalty, privacy, and friendship. But the effort felt like trying. To stop a hurricane with an umbrella, every clarification only fueled more speculation. For Meghan, the emotional toll was massive. She'd already been painted as a disruptor within the royal family, and now her closest friend was being cast as her accomplice.
They just wanted to land a rich man and make easy money.
To many observers, the royal institution's desperation to control the story revealed something deeper: fear. Fear that Markus might say more. Fear that he could confirm rumors that the palace wanted buried forever. And while Meghan's supporters rallied online, the damage to her image had already been done. Because in the world of monarchy and media, perception is power. And once it slips, even the crown can't get it back. For years after the scandal, Markus Anderson remained a ghost. His name whispered in royal gossip circles, but never spoken publicly. Then, unexpectedly, he surfaced not with a talon.
He knows, and everybody all around the world, that you would want to know. The very rich, the very connected. Anybody who is anybody would be in Markus Anderson's little black book. And he's never betrayed a confidence. He's never made a slip.
Markus admitted he had stood by Meghan through every storm, hinting that much of what the public believed was never the real story. He didn't deny the friendship, nor did he apologize for it. Instead, he described Meghan as someone deeply misunderstood, yet fiercely determined to survive. It wasn't a defense, it was a truth bomb, dressed in diplomacy. Insider interpreted it as Markus's quiet attempt to reclaim his image while protecting hers. Others saw it as strategic damage control, a way to reset the narrative without reigniting old fires. Still, that statement reopened wounds. Why speak now? Why after all the silence? The timing fueled speculation that Markus wanted to distance himself before more rumors emerged. Yet what struck many was his restraint. He didn't attack the royals, nor did he expose Meghan. He simply confirmed the loyalty even after being dragged through global scandal. To Meghan's critics, it was manipulation. To her defenders, proof of enduring friendship. But to everyone else, it was a reminder of how entangled power, privacy, and ambition had become. Markus may not have betrayed Meghan, but his quiet revelation made one thing undeniable. The truth about their connection was far more complicated than anyone imagined. Because sometimes the real story isn't in what's confessed, it's in what's left unsaid. After Markus Anderson's quiet revelation, the storm finally began to fade, but the damage lingered like a permanent shadow. Meghan Markle, once the dazzling outsider who shook up centuries of royal tradition.
So this is way back in 2006. I wonder if Trevor ever knew about this. People can have double lives because look at these pictures could not be shown in the United States, all over North America, only in certain countries. And I don't think Trevor would even thought back then of going through a VPN and seeing where Meghan Markle is or what she's doing.
The media eventually moved on, but not before leaving scars on both sides. Meghan was no longer just the Duchess. She became a symbol of ambition, controversy, and survival. Markus, meanwhile, had become a mystery, the man who'd been there from the beginning, but chose silence over spectacle. For both of them, loyalty had come at a cost. In hindsight, their friendship became a kind of cautionary tale about power and proximity. When the spotlight burns that bright, even the purest connection starts